What's up, everybody? This is Dallas Doan here, and today we're gonna be doing some Q&A for January 2023. So let's get right into this here. Again, disclaimer, you know, the views expressed in this video um, are my own opinions and not those of my employer. So this month's question comes from Aritz Sanchez from the YouTube comments, and it goes like this. It reads like this: um, as an environment artist myself, how did you find yourself to transition from an artist to an art director? Do you miss production setting? And uh, do you think you would go back to being an artist? So that's a good question. Um, and so I'm gonna break down this this question into two parts. The first one is going to be like, how was the transition from an artist to an art director? And then number two is, do I miss being an artist? And would I ever go back to being an artist? So question one, transition from artist to an artist, from an artist to an art director. So first, I just want to say, it was, it was a steep learning curve. You know, early on, it was an insane amount of learning. It was the biggest learning curve in my entire career. So just be prepared and ready for that. Uh, I had this sense of like there was a lot to learn. There are so many things you realize you need to learn to be a successful art director. Too much to learn, not enough time. Uh, the third thing that I wanted to point out here is like you have gained so much more responsibilities when the second that you become a director. Not only for your team, but for your studio and for the project. So, and that leads to having lots of pressure. There's a lot of pressure that now is on your shoulders when you do become a director. You are the face of the art department, right? You represent your entire team. You know, to your publishers, your IP stakeholders, your execs, all of them. You are the face of the team. So if they aren't happy with the results, that failure is on you, right? Like that is how the execs and the IP stakeholders look at it, right? It's like we trusted you to get the job done and you didn't get the job done. And another thing that I wanted to bring up lastly is, you know, being in this position, here's one way to kind of look at it, right? Um, a big part of your job is being able to sell your vision for the project to the publisher, the studio execs, IP stakeholders, the game directors, and your team, right? Like, can you sell your vision? Um, and that's a big part of your job. And there's so much more to kind of tackle here, but I'm gonna leave more detailed stuff for the upcoming videos. Question two: do I miss being an artist and would I go back? So, you know, I definitely missed being an artist early on during my transition. When you first become an art director, you you you're excited, right? Because it's a new challenge, but you do kind of miss the simplicities of being an artist. So yeah, I definitely had moments where I missed, just being creative and drawing, for hours and stuff. So for sure. Um, you've been doing this for a long time. You've been doing art for such a long time, and you've now fallen in love with the career, likely. So yeah, so it is natural to miss it for sure. Another thing to bring up is like the artists becoming a management, right? Or going into management. You're kind of shifting, right? Um, you're shifting kind of your role and what it is that you do. You aren't spending hours doing art anymore. You're spending hours in meetings, helping to set up your art team for success. You spend more time reviewing the team's work instead of like making the art yourself. You're delegating a lot of tasks, and you're trusting a lot on your leads. And you're dealing with the other stuff, so that your team can actually do the art. You're moving on to bigger things. It is your job to see the bigger picture. You have so much visibility on the entire project as a whole. A big part of your job is understanding the bigger picture and making sure that everyone on your team understands the goals, the vision, and everybody's going in the right direction. So that becomes your job. And lastly, would I go back? And this is a very personal thing. This is my answer. No, no, I would not be going back. I personally would not go back to being an artist. But it's not uncommon for artists who step into an AD role and realize a few months in that this isn't for them. Like, that's actually quite common. That happens. But that isn't happening here for me. And I'm gonna kind of spitball some of the few reasons here, and I'm gonna kind of summarize it. I just love collaborating with other directors from different disciplines, working with studio execs, empowering my artists, mentoring them, problem solving, and being a stakeholder for the visuals on the project. And I simply don't think I can ever go back. So hopefully, thank you for your time. Hopefully this video was helpful in answering your question. And yeah, look forward to seeing more videos that kind of tackle in a little bit more depth on a bunch of different topics on becoming an art director, especially early on in my career and all the stuff that I've learned in my first year so far. Thank you so much. See you all next time. Bye now.